from accusing his ex-wife of claiming he was going to get, and finally explaining why he sides with Sean Diddy Combs, Kanye has officially lost his mind in one of his biggest manic episodes yet. And today I want to speak on all of it and share my thoughts with you. Now, before we even get into it, it's a lot that Kanye said, but I think it's important to talk about the crux of the matter, and not just every little thing that this yapper was rambling about during his manic episode. Kanye had already been losing his mind, shading other artists, but notably Kenny and Tyler, saying he hates Not Like Us and he asked Kenny to diss him. He also said Tyler hasn't made any memorable tracks and that Chromacopia ripped off his sound. I don't think I've heard a single nigga say Chromacopia reminds them of Kanye, but alright. But this was Kanye basically getting at the bigger picture, that picture being betrayal. And he has this list of every artist that he claims betrayed him. The reason for this is that he claims it's the Jews and that these artists are on the Jewish payroll, and therefore they're being told to not associate with him. But according to Kanye, part of this betrayal is just based off the fact he's helped niggas. And he even put Ty Dolla $ign on blast with an article stating his numbers increased after vultures, but then he says he doesn't condone hate speech. I guess showing the juxtaposition on how he'll use Kanye for number increase while simultaneously disavowing him on IG. But Kanye made a video saying how he feels the artists weren't there for him, and once again it's just the Jewish people getting in their ear and telling them not to mess with Kanye.
You know, my thing is, when I'm going into these fights with shit I'm really dealing with, it'd be good if niggas like actually help me, because what I'm saying is right. But instead, the Jews come in and punk these niggas into going against me, and they forget about everything that I did for them.
But now I want to talk about the crazy stuff, like the actual meat, the main course. Let's start with Top 5, who I recently learned is a Drake affiliate or a Drake shooter, Toronto Demon. Look, I don't be tapped in with these weirdos, okay? But he hits Kanye up saying the stuff he's been saying on Twitter is disrespectful, which Kanye responds calling him all sorts of things, including slurs. But what's interesting is that he actually name drops Kim in this response, which I'll touch on later because her side of this story is crazy. This prompted some guy named Bundog, who's apparently Top 5 CEO, to hit up Kanye, threatening him and saying he knows where he's at and that if he doesn't chill, he's about to show him a real demon. At this point, is any of it really that serious? I mean, these are grown men, one of which is mentally ill and having a manic attack, and the other is feeding into that same manic attack. At this point, Kanye hasn't really said anything besides his usual, crazy stuff, Jewish hate, anti-Semitism, which, okay, it's crazy, but this is standard yay, okay? But what do I know? Eventually, Kanye got another text from Top 5, claiming that he was living for these texts he's been getting. And he even said he wanted to meet Top 5 in person, to which Top 5 posted on the story asking if he should push up on Kanye in China. And that would basically conclude the Kanye v Top 5 thing, at least from what Kanye's been posting. Honestly, I guess Toronto Demon messing with the guy who made Graduation. Anyways, now I want to talk a little bit about the stuff he's been saying about Jay-Z, because at the place we are in this manic episode, Kanye believes people are out to despawn him. And yes, I am going to say despawn because YouTube will flag it, demonetize, whatever, you get it. But it makes sense. He's getting threats from Top 5, and now you've poked Jay-Z, who has all this power in the industry. But one of the reasons Kanye believes Jay-Z specifically will have him iced is because Kanye made a post asking if anyone's seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's kids, claiming they are special needs. And that's not what he said, but I'm saying that because, once again, YouTube. This post was then taken down, but Kanye made a tweet saying he took it down so his account didn't get deleted. But what I find interesting is that in another tweet, Kanye made it clear he revealed this information about Jay-Z so that he wouldn't have power over him. This stuck out to me because there is an expression that I believe firmly applies to Kanye, and that expression is that a broken clock is right twice a day. While this is clearly a manic episode where he is chatting a lot of shit, and I can prove it just by his continued support of numerous terrible people, namely Diddy. But what does Kanye mean when he says power over him? And we're all familiar with the music industry and the weird stuff going on in Hollywood. So I don't think it's crazy to say there's something more to the power over him thing. But Kanye continued to talk his shit about Jay-Z until this tweet, where he says he doesn't want Jewish people to get credit for his despawn, and that it's gonna hurt Jay-Z to despawn him. And I'm not gonna read them. They're obviously on screen, so pause if you wanna read them, but holy. And I really wanna touch on this again near the end, because these Jay-Z comments remind me of Diddy. And actually, speaking of Diddy, Kanye goes on to explain why he stands with Puff, which amounts to him comparing his beef with Adidas. Kanye said he had his accounts frozen right before tax season, and he believes this was to have him sent to prison for evading taxes. He then tries to connect this with Diddy in the hotel footage that got released. Ultimately, Kanye believes it feels like a public lynching, which is weird, but watch this.
So let me explain to you why I stand by Puff. When I went against Adidas got my bank to freeze my accounts right before tax time. From the way I understand that, you evade taxes, you can go to prison. Puff sues Diageo. A hotel video from 10 years earlier is put out. Now people don't like Puff. And then Diageo, they go in with the most insane media takedown I've ever seen, all the way to not just the media, but not allowing a person to get bombed for $50 million. There's people with actual murders that are at home on bond and not a $50 million bond.
And this is what I mean when I say Kanye is actually insane. Diddy is most likely connected to the deaths of other rappers like Tupac and Biggie. And this nigga Kanye is making it seem like Diddy is an innocent man. And then he scoots over the fact he was a woman in the video, and like I said, my point is he's genuinely crazy. But now that we're on the subject of Diddy, Kanye has made numerous claims on Cassie, one of Diddy's victims and the person who Diddy in the footage. He then basically says that what Cassie did, taking the 30 mil from Diddy to not release her book, is extortion, but she's a literal victim. Like 30 mil is the least she can get from the trauma, the mental pain, like. And for all we know, she just wanted to have a peaceful rest of her life and not have to think about this Diddy thing again, which, I mean, based off of what we have heard about what Diddy's done, just give me my 30 mil so I can forget about it. He also claimed Cassie ran, which is insane, but Cassie fired back, reposting Cardi telling Ye to shut up. And then Ye responded saying she is extorting Diddy and the hotel is doing the same thing to Diddy that Adidas did to him. Kanye, shut the fuck up, nigga. Now let's talk a little bit about Cardi and Kanye. What got Kanye to the point he's at right now is that Cardi was talking to Kim about getting Northwest on I Am Music and saying a line about Skims, which Kanye wasn't messing with, and compared it to him asking Iggy to get Onyx, who is Cardi's son, on one of his projects and to say a line about Iggy's brand. What was actually the last straw for Kanye is that he claims the Kardashians are his children and that Cardi going to Kim is essentially him being complacent in the of his children. Kanye compared the Kardashians to the actual COD clan, and once again I am saying that so YouTube doesn't strike the video, but when you think of COD clans, think of this one right here. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. Kanye also posted a, in my opinion, relatively normal photo attached to this post, but I don't have it because I'm using re-uploads because all of this stuff has been taken down at the time of writing this. But yeah, he flat out said Kim Kardashian is a. So based on this and the fact Cardi would go to someone who Kanye believes is harming his child has led to him claiming he destroyed Cardi. So now Kanye is making all these crazy claims, but the thing is, Kanye was gonna have the Tate brothers pull up to the location where his daughter Northwest was at. And if you don't understand how crazy that is, come on. Like, these guys have literally been charged with. So in other words, Kanye is projecting, and he also has a weird history with women and controlling them. And there's a whole article basically talking about the numerous exes he has and how their fashion sense has changed after dating Kanye. To put it simply, Kanye, once you get with him, he's gonna try to control you. Like, he views women as these toys, or at least that's what you could get from seeing his behavior with his romantic partners. Look at Kim and Bianca, the latter being naked every single time she went out and even divorced him. And finally, Kim is suing for the custody of their children. So who really is the bad guy? Now, I'm not a fan of the Kardashians and I don't like how they fetishize mixed children, but the evidence is pointed at Kanye. But now I want to take a bit of time to talk about my thoughts on the Jay-Z and Kanye comments. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, but apparently Jay-Z is gonna sue them over this, which I understand, like, it's crazy. But everything else that Kanye has said outside of like Jay-Z having power over him, you can disregard it. This dude is defending Sean Diddy Combs, a known and what I amount to as a super, and yet he's gonna claim the Kardashians are people, which I'm not even saying the Kardashians are great. They have a lot of fishy stuff going on, but dude, you tried to have the Tate brothers pull up on your daughter. But my point is that the Jay-Z thing stuck out to Diddy like me, in the sense that with Diddy, open secret, but there were whispers around. There was people that would say like, yo, Diddy has something going on. And this is gonna sound crazy, but even my own sister, pre-Diddy getting exposed, would, you know, say like, yo, Diddy's having these parties. Here's YouTube videos talking about, here's the conspiracies. It was a conspiracy until it got proven to be true. And so when I think of Jay-Z, although we don't have proof right now, the man's powerful. I'm pretty sure he was talking to Beyonce before she was even 18, knew her when she was like 16 or 17. Who's to say these guys weren't involved in the same thing? Jay-Z was friends with Diddy. You feel me? So when Kanye says, oh, he has power over me, I think this broken clock is right. There's something more that Kanye knows. And even though he's insane, if Kanye ends up leaking something, I'm all for it. I'm all for the expose of all these creeps. So what I'm saying is that, in my opinion, Jay-Z has some skeletons. But that's really all I had to say. Writing this was actually annoying, but this is this is most of the Kanye West mental breakdown. And so, I mean, hey, what do y'all think? I'm gonna get up out of here. And yeah, y'all be easy. Peace.
She said, do you love me? Told her that I love her. Nigga tried to